What's going on? What's going on? This is Tenoonzie back at it again, chilling in the man cave. Well, not exactly, but I'm chilling in that place where the magic don't happen. You know what I'm talking about? This is the Red Cup. Shout out to the Fan Bam group, IG, Facebook, Threads, and all them other places where y'all showing me love. I appreciate it. Okay, so what we doing today in Red Cup fashion, we're going to talk about a few videos. You already know what we do. Today's very special, though. We have a very, very strong panel, a very familiar panel. We have the Red Cup alumni up in this piece, okay? So let me go on ahead and pull everybody up. We got Press up in here, okay? We got Granny Wowzers up in this piece. And then we had Tay Robinson. What's up, what's up, what's up? And then, hold on, wait. Let me go on ahead and turn my shit on. There we go. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Going ahead and I decided to put the skunk on today. All right. Let me go ahead and turn this off.
Lord.
I put the skunk, I'm wearing it.
Yeah,
Looking fly.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Looking fly. Tay, go ahead. What you got to say? Say it.
I'm wearing it.
I'm wearing it. Exactly.
I'm wearing it.
We've been laughing about this. No, because I had another jacket like this. She like, you in California, what do you need a fur coat for? I said, well, that's why we don't have sleeves. It don't get that cold, but it get cold enough, right? No, all right.
Well, but you're in the Yay area, so it's a little colder than where I am in Cali. Because where I'm at in Cali, I'm in LA, so it's a little warmer over this way.
Right, and then we got storms coming by and all this stuff. So yeah, it's important.
But he's got like not just one. He's got like one that looks like a gopher, one that looks like faux fur goat fur. I mean, it's one that. What's the other one?
I got wombat. I got some wombat.
Wombat.
All right,
he's got.
Yeah, I got wombat, and I got the skunk. And then,
the gopher.
She said gopher. Yeah, I got gopher too. All right. So,
as long as it's faux fur, we're good.
It's faux fur.
Well, I'm just hoping that don't turn it nothing else. But still. So anyway, how's everybody been? How you been, Press? Oh, she turned the camera off.
Because she's laughing.
Oh, she's laughing. Oh, okay. Yo, how have you been?
I have been amazing. I really have. I've had a really great couple of days of blessings, and it's been a great few days.
Okay, good. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Granny Wowzers, how you been?
I have been pushing through. This sickness just will not go away. It's been a month and counting. Both Sunshine and I have been fighting it, but we're here today, and we did a little better today, so we're happy, and I'm excited to be up in here with all of you.
About, yeah. You know what? And I did notice when I was doing the reels, I heard you coughing too, and you had one of them.
Yeah, I can't get rid of it, and neither can he. And we keep going back to the doctors, and we test the negative for everything. But whatever's going around, it lasts for a while, I guess.
I'm telling you, yeah. Hey, look, to see how Preston dropped down. I think her dude popped up. He apologizing with some flowers or something. You know what I'm saying?
I hope she turned it back.
Man, yeah, right. Got some vegetables. Anyway, so I'm glad that we're here. I'm pretty sure she'll come back. We'll give her a second. So we've been doing this for a long time, and I just got to say, since I have the two of you on here, that I appreciate support from the very beginning. Okay, here's Press. Let me go ahead and reset what I was just about to say. So I just want to thank y'all for being supportive in the group. Being supportive with the show and just doing what y'all do, being able to talk to y'all outside of this and just have little conversations and learn from one another. That's a good thing. So I do appreciate y'all for standing by your boy from the beginning, because loyalty is hard to find these days and people don't really know what it is. So I'm just glad that y'all here. I got to give y'all the kudos where it belongs. Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate that, but it's back at you too, because you're right. Loyalty is definitely a hard thing to find without little resistance.
Right. Yeah, it is. It's challenging.
I'm going to echo what Granny Wowzer says. It is. It's a difficult community to navigate, and finding people who really stand by you and support you are difficult to not just find, but to keep. So we're glad to be here.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you. And
Feels good to be a part of a good tribe.
exactly. And Press, you've been, we hadn't seen you for a little bit. We know you took a much needed break from social media, and I think we all need to do that. I've done it. Tay's done it. Granny Wowzers has done it, and a lot of people have done it. And if anybody's watching this replay, it needs to be understood that sometimes it's good to unplug from this stuff. You get used to seeing all these extravagant things happening, and always keep in mind that this is social media. People are hustling, they're trying to make their money, or they're projecting what they feel inside, but they haven't quite been able to manifest that outwardly. But this is a space where they can kind of practice who they aspire to be. So you may see a whole lot, and sometimes when you're going through your own personal things, you'll look at that and it may weigh on you. So it's always good to unplug from this stuff, right? I mean, I remember I had a girlfriend back in the day. She used to watch, and I say this all the time, but she used to watch them Lifetime shows, and I see her leaning in like, "Oh my gosh, look at this crazy stuff." And I'm like, "You do know they say cut after this scene. I know it's, you hear the music and it's a lot of tense music, and you're seeing people looking from around the corner and all this stuff, and the person is like all worked up and stuff. It's like, okay, I get it. You're so into it, but remember, they say cut after this scene. So we have to think about it the same way with social media. We may see people who are portraying themselves in a certain way. We don't know these people. You know what I'm saying? And they could be playing a whole role, man. There's been people who take pictures in front of cars, in front of houses, and all that stuff. Don't be theirs, right? So
Oh,
just
I
continue,
know.
yeah, continue
I
doing what you're
know.
doing in your life. Do what you got to do in your life. What's important to you, your family, your career, the loyalty with those who really care about you. Be more concerned with that and unplug. Granny Wowzer, I know you were saying something. Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you. I said, "Oh, I know. I know they're pretending out here." I keep telling people they don't understand these celebrities. You can sit here and watch them on your TV one day a week, whatever the show is on. And if you pay close attention to them, if you're living in the vicinity where they're at, you're going to see them driving Uber. I've seen them working fast food restaurants. I've seen them at grocery stores. You're not going to recognize them unless you really know them that well. But I know many celebrities that are out here hustling side jobs and stuff because they're not getting paid what they think they are. But when you look at their Instagram and TV, they're in these Benzes, they're showing up in all this stuff. They're all rentals, people. Do not live off of the stuff that you see. It's all entertainment, pure entertainment. Don't take it any more than that.
Right, that's some real talk because I remember when we used to watch what was that, MTV Cribs, and it was like they exposed that like years later that a lot of them houses, like most of the rappers didn't even own the stuff, and you wonder why.
Yes.
That you wonder why now, like looking back on hindsight, whenever they spoke about certain things in their house, it was almost scripted. They all said the same thing. It's just the house may have looked a little different, but you know, um, I just realized that looking back on it,
The,
but
that's funny you brought up the cribs because I know for a
Mhm.
fact that they were renting out properties and
Yes.
most of them are the same properties. They just redecorated it differently.
Yep. It's
exactly,
leasing. They're leasing just like their vehicles, like their homes.
Mhm.
And for some of them, it's even their accommodations are leased.
Yeah. And and see, and you get caught up in stuff like that so much to where like when you finally do get something, you want to test and see how real it is. Which brings us to our first video. This Joker right here, he decides maybe he's watched a lot of things, and he decides, hey, I got my first bulletproof vest, and he wants to see if this vest really works the way it works, on TV. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. You already know we're gonna do this in red cut fashion. We're gonna play it, and then we're gonna talk about it. Everyone's gonna get their take. All right. So without further ado, let me go ahead and pull it up. Here we go.
Gang shit. I'm okay.
Okay, I hadn't heard the audio before. Because wait a minute, because I was trying to figure out if he was good. I didn't have the audio up when I first looked at it. I just now realized that he did speak. Okay, that's good. Wait a minute. Wait, one more time. Wait, one more time before we even start talking about it. Now I gotta see it one more time. Hold on real quick. One more time.
Gang shit. I'm okay.
I mean, he sounded like it's raining men. You know what I'm saying? he knocked all the masculinity out of his chest. What?
It was gone quick.
Don't have no words.
Hey, what you think about that?
Foolishness. That's foolishness. I almost think he didn't really do it. I almost think it was for the TikTok, like for the audio. Because I'm sorry, sweetheart. I've seen people actually shot with vests on, and you ain't saying I'm okay. You more or less saying somebody call 911.
I mean, shit. I don't know. Press, you there? You got something to say after watching that?
I'm here, but I'm in the car with little people, so I got voices behind me. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna get back to you.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you down to the pews. We're gonna do that, okay?
Do that.
Yeah, if you got anything to say, just let us know in the comments. Yeah. Granny Wowzer.
I'm still laughing at that. I'm okay.
Yeah. It was raining.
Well, I think what got me the most is I'm gangster. Gangster stuff. Or whatever the hell he said before he was stupidly shooting himself in the chest. That just killed me. I'm like, if you're a real gangster, you already know not to play around with no weapons, period. We don't that's 101. You don't play around with that stuff. And you sure the hell don't point it at yourself. You take the vest off, you set the vest on a chair, and you shoot it.
Did it at point blank range. And
this
then
is all that I'm saying. This is for the gram. This is
right.
I
think so.
This is clickbait. This is not real.
I 100% agree with Tay.
I don't know. Wait a minute. No, I think it's real. Wait a minute. Wait, let's look at it one more time then. Oh, wait a minute.
Please
I think it's real. I think it's real.
Can you slow it down?
I can't. But you can see it.
Gang shit.
He did it.
No, it sounded like an empty clip.
Yes, it did.
I've shot enough 9mm. I think I think I kind of know what that sound. It sounds like an empty clip.
No, you can see the mark on the vest. Hold on, wait. One more time. I'm gonna try to pause it.
Gang shit.
You can see in the corner right there.
When you discharge a firearm, there's the compressed air.
Yeah, it's like, where's the smoke?
It's not. And here's the thing. When you literally at point blank range discharge a firearm, he wouldn't be able to speak. He shot himself point blank range in the breadbasket. He would have taken all the air out of his chest.
Exactly. He didn't lose anything. He didn't knock the wind. He should have knocked his wind completely out, and he should have been like, "Oh, okay," something. Barely able to breathe. Talk. This is a setup.
What if the round he had,
I'm sorry. I have to go with Granny. I'm with Granny 100%. This is
What'd you say, Tenoonzie?
What if it wasn't a strong round? It wasn't like he had a hollow point or something. I don't know.
Even blanks have a little more of a charge to it, especially at that close range. You can die from a blank. So
Yeah.
even if it was a blank,
Absolutely.
I don't think that was even a blank. I think that was a pretendo.
It could have
Agreed,
been.
100%.
It could have been. I agree, but I still say that even if you want to test to see if your stuff work, right? I, why would you do it to a vest that you want to use? I just don't get it.
Yeah, that
You know what I'm
all of
saying?
it,
Like,
none of it makes sense.
it's already been tested and approved. So what are you doing here? Like, what's happening? Right?
For the gram, for the
Yeah.
gram. And we all know that point blank range, you can still be injured, period.
Yeah.
Yes, there's bruising. There's
Yes.
a lot. You could break a rib or crack a
Mm-hmm.
rib. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of damage you could do, especially he pointed that directly on it. So
Yes.
it's closer than point blank. It's just, I don't know any
Mm-hmm.
other closer, but that's the way they describe it as point blank. But
Mm-hmm.
that sucker is right there on it. So
Well,
he
And it's
would have
in,
definitely cracked a rib. He could have bruised a lung. There's just so many other things that could have happened. So I think it's for the gram.
it started
I,
raining men though. And then
Yes.
Sade said his phone is standing up on the counter, so his phone mic is probably muffled.
probably.
There's a chance.
I could see that. I could see that wholeheartedly. Nevertheless, it's point blank range, right between the breadbasket and the nape of the bosom. Let me explain something. He would be in the hospital.
The
Yes.
bosom.
And another thing we're missing is where's the clip? I mean, where's the shell? Where's
Michelle.
the
Mm-hmm.
playback?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I took this is when I first started learning how to shoot at gun ranges. When I took my 9mm to a gun range, I had set up my phone and the empty shell shot back and went right through my screen. So I mean, this is just too much missing right here. And all of this stuff real close together, and it's not making sense.
Yeah, and he violated all the gun safety rules. I mean,
That too.
you just don't do stuff like
Literally.
that
I'm
wasn't
with
cool.
Granny on this one. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go. Granny and I think we see this eye to eye. This is for the gram, and he is trying to get likes and clicks. Period.
And people go way too far for it. So hey, it's up in the air, but I'm gonna go with the majority on this one. That is probably a fake video. But anyone watching this, y'all let us know what y'all think about it. I mean, I did pause it with the mark there on there. Y'all let me know, okay? Everybody who liked to test their vest the way that he did, just let us know how it worked out, okay? Now here's something a little bit more serious, where a young man, 15 years old, he makes an attempt to rob someone. He shot at someone, and the person he intended on shooting, he missed. And according to reports, he allegedly shot an officer, but he was actually able to be, well, it was at a point where they were able to get him without killing him. You said you can't hear me speak. I don't know what happened.
We hear
Yeah,
you.
press can hear. All right. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and play this one real quick, and I want everybody's take on this one. Here we go. Young man. Young man in the white. Wow, the U.S. I just realized the U.S. Marshals picked him up because he was. Reports are saying that he's a migrant. He had just got to the country, and he just got caught up in the wrong crowd. And they had been this group of individuals allegedly been doing a little bit of crime, and he had an issue with someone, and he fired around, missing that person and hitting another individual. But now you hear mama screaming and crying. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Tay, you have the floor. What do you think after seeing this video? What comes to mind?
Well, the marshals picking him up makes perfect sense, especially if he's new to the country they're the ones that are going to show up anyway. Next of all, I mean, it's kids. You mix in with the wrong crowd. You're probably trying to assert yourself, prove your worth, prove your value, prove you're tough to everybody. You shoot the wrong person. It doesn't change the circumstances. The consequences are still the same. And I think his mom realized that the moment that the marshals showed up.
Yeah. Yeah. Granny Wowzer, what do you think?
What I think is this is a child who should have been better watched, number one. Obviously he was too immature to handle the entire situation, which is why he's also not looking like he's taking this solid. He looked like he was crying too, probably looking at his mama cry, which always affects the man. But he's just too damn young, and he has to face the consequences like an adult now. You laid your bed. Now, you got to lay in it, I don't know. It's a sad situation all the way around, and it's really something that we have to talk to our kids about. Even no matter if you're an immigrant or from here or whatever, this is reality. You got to talk to your kids. You could be a millionaire, and your child could still be out there doing the same thing that this young man did. You have to give them an out. Have to teach them how to redirect their anger, and let them know not everything is worth it. Because this young kid just messed up his whole life, and he can never come back to the United States. Once, they picked him up, but once he's prosecuted and everything, they're not keeping him here. They'll keep him here for a little bit, but they're eventually going to ship him out. And now he's on a list that do not re-entry. For the rest of his life, he's going to be stuck over there, and it's going to force his parents to go back over there if they decide to go be with him. And he done messed up everything that they were working for, and he's probably feeling all of that sitting behind bars now.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, I did. I wanted to piggyback on something she said, especially highlighting that I think that with the conversation with our kids are under the impression that as long as they're minors, their parents are responsible. When the authorities or different individuals show up, their parents are going to be held accountable, and that's not the case. And that mom was crying because she knew that she was not in any power. She had no authority over his outcome. And I think him walking off crying, in that very moment, he also realized that he had to stand for his actions alone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there's no telling what he had been going through prior to him getting there. I mean, his parents were already here. So whoever was taking care of him back, in the homeland where he's from, evidently he hadn't had much guidance up to that point, just to be so easily with just observation. This probably isn't 100% true, but just the fact that he's able to acquire a weapon and just start firing real quick, like how he's doing, is something that young people don't just do. You kind of have to be in that a little bit, or at least kind of, because kids do dumb shit. Don't get me wrong, they do. You see it for a little bit, and then you want to try it. 15 years old, probably the only saving grace he has is that he's not from the country, and they can just ship him back. But if he was already here, 15 years old, there's no, and then a cop, it's involving a cop too. We looking at the majority of his the rest of his teens up into his 20s, he would still be in jail.
Depending on what country he's originally from, they don't, even if they ship him back, he's gonna sit in their jail, and their laws are way different, and they could keep him forever.
Right.
So it's a whole messed up situation all the way around. And like we were saying, this is stuff you really got to talk to your kids. You have to explain to them all the consequences, and that they could be facing adult consequences for their actions of such things like this. And kids really don't think about that. They think they're invincible, they're untouchable, that they can get away with so much, and they have other adults that are trying to get them to do stuff for them, which is probably what happened here too. Somebody hyping them up, saying, "Hey, go do this. You're a minor. You're gonna get off. Don't worry about it. We got your back. You'll get out, and it's no big deal. You'll have the rest of your life to go, and we owe you a solid." and they believe that crap.
Yeah, I'll give you some money. You just came to the country. I'll put some dollars in your pocket. You know, stuff
Exactly.
like
We'll take care of your moms, your pops, you know,
Mm-hmm.
your siblings, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
these people do. I've seen it firsthand, and how they do this stuff. And if people go, you know, this kid was old enough to know better. You don't know all the stuff that they were
Mm-hmm.
feeding this kid before he got that gun in his hands. They hype you up. They make you feel like nobody in the world could touch you. And if you do get in trouble, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, let's consider the fact that this child has been outside of his own mother and father's care. So he's been with individuals outside of his family. They don't have his best interest. They're not teaching him to protect him. Mothers and fathers usually govern their children in a way that protects them. So wherever he's coming from, he's already been influenced by individuals who don't have his best interest at heart, which is why his mother is probably crying. She's like, oh God, he's barely been here. We haven't had the opportunity to undo the brainwashing and influence that he's been under since we have been apart. And now he's coming into this system unfamiliar with the rules, guidelines, laws, and processes, with this outdated or information that doesn't necessarily assimilate to where he is. And a lot of times they're rebellious. I've been away from you. I'm not under your authority. I've learned and lived life in a way that makes me feel like I can live on my own because I've been apart from you. And then quickly it goes awry, and here you are being carted off by the police.
Right.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, it's a sad situation. You know, if he was around me, because a lot of people nowadays, and we talk about this in the past, that is some people who are just scared to be parents. They're scared to be adults around young people simply because of that. I see you, Kuyora, I see you. We're going to pull you up in just a bit. But we see people who are afraid to talk to the youth now simply because they see stuff like this, though. If they see young people who are able to acquire weaponry at such a young age, and then they're not, you know, they're doing what teenagers do. They've done what we've all done, you know, where you've had that stint where you're a little rebellious, or you're aspiring to be something, and you probably won't listen like how you should coming up. Some people just don't have the time to deal with it. You know, we have to be able to talk to them, look them in the eye, and respect them, because they're actually looking for guidance. But you got to give them something to respect. You know, and if you don't speak up and say anything, that's just like any other person. I mean, shit, if you're not talking to me and you're walking by, you treat me like I'm this way, well then fine, I'll just be that. There's a huge disconnect because of that. What do y'all say to that?
I agree. I think you hit it right on the nose. And like I said, I know this kind of stuff firsthand, growing up in the streets and with the people I grew up around. We won't mention them again because you're like, don't, let's not say that name again last time.
Thank
So
you.
I'm not gonna bring it up. But you know, I've seen this stuff. I've seen the sex trafficking. I've seen how these kids get influenced really quickly and easily, and the consequences that come after that. So there's just so much to go into this. And kind of like what Tay was saying too, you know, we got to take into account that he's in an environment that's not his norm. All of that stuff really plays into it really well. So yeah, I agree with both of you.
And we need to also, and you know, kind of assess the psychosocial implications. I mean, think about it. He's probably got a sense of abandonment from his parents. Kids experience that rejection. You left me here. I mean, even if you went to go and make a better life, you left me here. Kids don't handle that well. It doesn't have a good ramification on the psychosocial profile of a kid to be even abandoned for good reasons. So they're not necessarily coming in reuniting with your family with good cause in terms of, I'm willing to hear you out, I'm willing to hear you and submit to your authority because I've had this freedom. I've had this sense of stability outside of you, and I've governed myself. I've had these people telling me, you know, you can do this, you can do that. You're about you. You can wield guns. You can be a part of this social family, this street life. And so you come back into mom and dad who are telling you got to go to bed at 8 o'clock and you can't hang out with your friends until 10. Well, the pushback is real, you know, and you can see that because as you're listening to the moms, you could hear her saying certain things in her language, like, oh my God, this is what they were hoping against. They were hoping that he wasn't away from them long enough for these influences to infiltrate what they had already imprinted on him before they left. And here he is. And now the worst has happened.
Man. Yeah, I'm gonna do a solo cam real quick. See, so parents, I'm looking at you right now. You gotta stand firmly when it comes to your kids on the come up. Those are critical years. They say like the first 4 years of their life, man, they're like sponges. They're taking everything in. And don't wait till the 4 years is up and then get relaxed. Continue to put it on them. Continue to pour, instill those good values and all that stuff into them because they need us. They're paying attention. No matter how rebellious a child is, they're looking for love. They're fresh from the source, and they're full of love, and they are seeking understanding and knowledge in this crazy place that we in right now. See, so if they would have saw somebody like me, this young guy here in New York, I would have been like, listen, why are you doing all that? Okay, all you had to do was get you a fur coat, get you some of that Pepe Le Pew, understand me, and make sure you got some sleeves because it's colder out there, and be fly with it, man. Get into some other stuff. Don't be doing all this stuff. That's what we got to do. All right. Anyway, I hope see some seriousness in that. But now I have a question. We're gonna move on to.
I'm not gonna laugh out loud.
Right.
I was trying not to. I really was.
Yeah, I got the Pepe Le Pew. You know what I'm saying? So before we get to the next topic, I want to pull up our wonderful friend here. And I want her to introduce herself really quick. And then we're going to do our last topic. She's going to be a part of it. All right, here we go.
What up, y'all?
How you doing?
Good. How y'all doing?
Hello. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Can y'all hear me well?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Kior. I'm a comedian and an actress and now a motivational speaker for mental health awareness. So yeah, I'm here to speak on some topics and get it started and continue to meet you lovely people that's on the panel tonight.
Well, we appreciate you. We thank you for coming up here. You are with the alumni of the Red Cub Show. We have Granny Wowzers right here. We have Tay Rob here. In the chat, we have Press. We have Sade up in here. We got P. What's going on? So we have some folks up in here, and this will be replayed later on YouTube. But right now, we're going to be cutting it up and doing some reels just to get everybody ready. But you're just in time for our main topic. Our main topic is this brother here. Let me go ahead and pull him up. Where is he? Where's that picture at? Okay, here we go. Boom. Give me just a second. Here we go. All right. So this is who we talking about right here. We talking about the brother Tyrese. Okay. Now we a little late on the show talking about it, but we still on time considering the fact it's still February. Now he's come under a lot of scrutiny due to a post that he made, I believe, on his Twitter, where he started discussing. He made some comments that were a little disparaging, well, more than a little, towards the Black community. But he also had made a statement about other groups. So and everyone's seen it, but I don't think anyone has been able to read the whole entire post. It's only been like the first paragraph, but I'm going to read the whole thing and then we're going to talk about it. Okay. So this is how it starts. I'm not going to read it in his voice because you got a raspier voice to me. But anyway, he says, sometimes I wish I was born Latino. I mean, the Latin community is grounded in family, loyal, entrepreneurs, businessmen and women, literally represent the dream, the grind, the hustle, doing whatever it takes to stick together against all odds. If us as Black culture were more grounded in these integral magical nuances of us, we will be dominant. I've learned a lot from the Jewish community sticking together, eating dinner every Friday together. I've learned a lot about the Muslim community throughout all my travels in the Middle East. They have a father structure where they honor their fathers in the Middle East. And the thinking and the mentality is that they would much rather have a son over a daughter because they know that there is nothing like the leadership of a father and a man being the head of the household. I have no idea where we lost our way. We can get anything done and accomplished as a fragmented culture, insecure, threatened by each other, competitive towards our own race, killing ourselves every single day frivolously. The majority of us is black men, and the millions are locked up in prison. So he's going through a rant in his and please excuse the way I'm reading this because I always I rely on punctuation, and this brother is just going in. So let me finish this last one. Of course, we are beyond powerful, influential, and successful. But imagine if we all linked up like other communities have linked, poured and built up on each other instead of moving like fragmented and dysfunctional. We have what it takes to take over the world. We are nothing trying to do it alone. Please chime in. Would love to know your thoughts on this. Okay, so that's what he said, and then we're gonna start off from the top. Tay, after reading that, well, hearing me read it, and I struggled through it. What do you think?
After hearing it in its entirety, I do understand where he was coming from. I think his intentions were good. Nevertheless, Tyrese is known historically for pandering to other cultures because he likes their women. And we have to also factor that into his rant as well. I do appreciate him saying, you know, towards the end that we as a culture of people and individuals are powerful. We are. But let's just say it like this. There was once a time where I had a friend who said, who worked in the retail business. And she said, you know, when you're trained to watch a specific group of individuals. I said, really? She said, yes. So if you're always trained to watch a specific group of individuals, who do you think you're always going to catch? That specific group of individuals. If you're always watching Black people and you're always looking for the least favorable opportunity or depictions of them, what are you always going to catch? You're always going to catch that. So you highlight those things. The Black community has thrived, changed, evolved, and grown in leaps and bounds, yet we are still in this place where we're highlighting the least favorable depictions of them. We have ascended to many of these things that he said at the latter end of his rant. You just have to stop being the house that's burning and definitely stop being the one that you're watching and highlight those things in our media.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Good. Okay, Ms. Real, you have the floor. What do you think?
So I didn't agree with the part where he was saying he wished that he was another culture. I did not agree with that at all. To me, we as a people, as a whole, we do have to get it together. I've even spoke on it before, that we are the only culture that tear down our community. We're the only people that see each other in the streets and won't speak. You know what I'm saying? We degrade each other, we belittle each other, we talk down on each other, and there's plenty of reasons why, which is a whole nother topic. But you know, I agree with Sis when she said, you know, I'm glad that he did say we're powerful, and you know, he acknowledged who we are as a people. It kind of, to me, it makes me feel like he has self-hate. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing self-hate is what I'm hearing, which comes from a handful of Black people. It's not just him. I guess because he's a celebrity, he's able to speak that out and put that on his platform. Everybody has their own opinion, and he was entitled to his. I agree to disagree with him. You know what I'm saying? But you know, to me, it's just screaming self-hate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a nice perspective. Granny Wowzer, you think?
Yeah. Well, being from the outside of the community, this stuff really gets me. I agree with everything both these beautiful ladies were just saying. I think you have to find self-love for who you are in your own culture and be comfortable in your culture, and find, you know, every culture has something messed up in it. Every culture has something messed up in it. But you cannot look at your own and be like, ugh, we gotta fix this. That's not fixing anything. If anything, it's making you worse than what you were before. Because now you're hating yourself. And now you have no sense of pride in who you are as a Black man. You have no more pride. Where's your self-pride in being a Black man? Where The thing I have too with a lot of these people that are doing stuff like Tyrese. Now that man alone is a whole subject by himself, but I've heard similar things like what he said. Yeah, I'm trying not to laugh about him, but I've heard some similar stuff that people have said too, and I'm like, me being on the outside as an indigenous woman growing up around Afro-Indigenous and my brethren communities, the number one family unit I grew up seeing and admiring was my brethren. And I say brethren instead of like, if you all don't know, now you know. Um, they were my look up tos. They were my number one go to for family units because the ones I got to see and grew up around, that's how they were. They were stronger than the Caucasians I was seeing. They were stronger than the Hispanics. They were stronger than a lot of people I grew up in the areas, and the people that I grew up around. They were strong family units. These men were fathers. These men were dedicated. They were hard workers. Everything opposite of what the outside world was telling me. I got to see a beautiful side of it. So when I see people self-hating themselves because of what society's views have poured into them, society has got people brainwashed that you have to be really light-skinned. You have to look more towards the Caucasians. And the more you look Caucasian, the more acceptable you are, the more beautiful you are. All of that is bogus. All
Yeah.
of that is bogus. And I think he bit into that. And I
Yeah.
think that's why he chooses the women he chooses. And I think half of his mental health challenges that he goes through, because obviously he has mental health challenges, and we're not going to go too deep into that. But I think a lot of that is this self-hatred.
Yeah. Yeah. Miss Real, did you want to add something to that? I saw your mic was off.
Oh, no, I'm just I totally agree with both of these beautiful sisters said. I agree with it. I love both of their points. When it comes to us as a people, that is a tough topic because it's so many things that can be said. There's so many classes that we could come from when we're talking about us as a people, of how we can do better, how we can come together and things like that, because there's so many things that tear us apart. You know what I'm saying? From fathers not being in the home, single mothers, women becoming masculine because they're single mothers. You know what I'm saying? Past trauma, all type of things that are keeping us from growing. Like she said, it starts with self-love. People have to learn how to heal. People have to learn how to open their eyes and open themselves to different teachers and accept the truth. And you know, Tyrese, baby, we praying for you, brother. We pray that you see the light and wake up and learn how to stop self-hating yourself, because you, my brother, have a daughter. You have a Black daughter. You understand what I'm saying? So you
Right.
got to watch what's spewing out of your mouth, because your daughter hears that. And she is a part of you, my brother. And whether you like being Black or not, you have a Black daughter, a queen that you're raising. So we as people have to be careful of the words that we're spewing, especially when we have dependents that are listening to us and watching us, because then you can spew that self-hate into your daughter, and then your daughter gonna grow up and feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
right.
agree. And if I could throw one more thing in there,
Go ahead.
the ending of the piece that you read that he wrote, even though he tried to switch it up and make it powerful, trying to get people to understand, I think listening to how you read that, he was speaking his truth and how he really felt. And then somewhere in there realized what he was saying, and that he had to quick and make it sound better, so he didn't sound like he was dumping on his own people. So he came in with something powerful at the end, which is a common trait in people who have this self-hatred.
Right. Tay, you want to close it?
Well, I do, because I think Granny Wells has brought up something very powerful, and that is a very, very defining trait of individuals who are struggling with self-hate. When you don't love yourself, you go on these rants and you realize like, oh crap, I said it out loud. People can hear it. They're going to respond. And you quickly try to fix it and make it, hey, if you guys have something you want to say, I welcome your perspective, your vantage point. Please share, but you don't really want them to share, because what you're hoping for is that somebody identifies with you at the first part of your rant. But the reality of it is this. At the end of the day, when it comes to our community, our brothers make the difference. So if you are a brother going out into the world saying, I hate us, I hate everything about us, I wish I was something else, no matter what the rest of us are saying, you stand and carry our culture, our legacy, our seeds, our children. So if somebody hears that coming from you, it devalues to a degree the rest of us who are existing inside the community. But one of the things I think Tyrese has to really educate himself on, and being in his particular position, I shudder to imagine that he doesn't see it. But we are the trendsetters. You've got African people, Asian people over in the Asias trying to figure out how to fix their hair so they can sponge it. You got other people tanning their skin so dark just so they can be the tones, the many hues that we are. You got other folks straightening their hair and getting it curled up. I mean, you got people getting BBLs that don't need it. Lips getting enlarged. It's like you have to also understand something. While you are dumping on your community and highlighting all these horrible things about us, we are the thing that people are emulating. So obviously there's something about us that's already fixed. We are the ones who are escaping the knowledge of that, because we are the ones, Black Americans, whose culture and identity was stolen, because other individuals whose skins look like ours have retained their culture. It's not Black folk that he is referring to. It's Americans who are melanated individuals. We are the ones whose history, culture, and livelihood and identity were stolen. Not everybody's.
Right. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a solo layout real quick so I can say something. Okay. Tyrese, brother, I don't know if you ever gonna hear this, but if there's anybody who thinks like Tyrese, I want you to hear this. When you are structuring a statement about your people, you have to be very careful as to how you speak, because what ended up happening in this instance, some of us know that he probably could have meant well at some point of it, but the way he structured it came completely disingenuous. It was like a backhanded compliment, and it holds absolutely no substance. And with it being February and him saying that was reckless, and that was not cool to be doing that in Black history. As a member of the Black community, Black American community, that was real foul for you to do. Okay? And then as a representative of Earth, and yes, I said Earth with an F, nobody, and I mean nobody, likes a sellout. All right? So with that being said, I would like to just give everyone a moment to just let us know what you got going on, how everyone can follow you on your social media platforms, whatever you got going on. Tay, I'm gonna start with you. Go ahead. Let me know. Let everybody know what you got going on.
Right now, so for many of you who do know me or have shared a community with me or platform, you know that in April 2018, I lost my daughter to intimate partner violence. Since then, I have been trying to figure out how to honor her and to allow her legacy to live on and her love to grow. Well, recently, God has placed it on my heart to create and begin this project called the Teddy Bear Project. And I'm collecting teddy bears and other items that individuals who are grieving can use, especially moms, to send those out to grieving mothers who are unfortunately becoming members of this community and needing those tools of comfort so that they can navigate this profound and prolific and complex grief. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and follow me at Tay Robson or at TayRob0512 on Instagram. And if you feel led, connect with me and let's help take care of some moms.
That's right. All right. Beautiful. Well said. Well said. It's real. What you got going on? Talk to us.
All right, as y'all know, I am a stand-up comedian and actress. I'm also a sickle cell advocate. My daughter, that is 21, has SS sickle cell, so I am the advocate for her. We have a nonprofit organization called Sickle Cell Sucks. For her organization, because sickle cell is a hush-hush disease and a lot of people know of it but don't know about it. So we help you research it. We help y'all understand what sickle cell is and where it comes from and how to deal with it. I also am trying to start a support group for mothers with children that have sickle cell anemia. Tomorrow I will be at Chit Chat I'm part of a mental health Monday squad. So tomorrow we will be having an event at Chit Chat, speaking on mental health awareness. And y'all can also catch me on all platforms at KUYOR Real, or you can Google me at KeyyourReal.com.
All right, that's what I'm talking about right there. That, very, very well put. Granny Wowzers.
Oh, can I say I'm at a awe with these beautiful women and what they're doing. I'm just kudos to both of you. I'm Granny Wowzers. You can find me on almost every social media platform out there. It's either going to be Granny Wowzers or my station, Wowzers FM 106, which you can find on all major streaming platforms, and on Bring the Noise, Mr. Chuck D from Public Enemy's app. You can also find me on New Media Tech Solo, which is NU Media Tech Solo, where the celebrities go so you could get heard and have your community come in and be a part of you as well. On Wowzers FM 106, we do a lot of talking about mental health. I'm autistic. My son is also autistic. My son is considered nonverbal. I beg to differ on that subject, but according to the government, he's nonverbal. But we go through a lot of challenges. I speak on it. Everybody knows him very well. His name is Sunshine. But you can definitely find us on almost every social media platform: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Stereo, New Media, and Bring the Noise. That's me, Granny Wowzers. I'm done.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. I don't know how to follow that. I'm Tenoonzie, and I'm a Sagittarius. I'm just kidding. No, we have a bunch of. I appreciate y'all for coming up here. A bunch of wonderful ladies, talented ladies who have a purpose behind what they do. They're very selfless. As you can see, we had three separate issues that they are spearheading on their own. And I encourage everyone who's watching this, if you know that there's anything that they're doing that you can support, please contact them, reach out to them, and see and ask them how can you support them, because they're doing some really, really great things. And I'm just honored to even be sitting here to be able to hear all these great things from you wonderful women. So I just want to thank y'all very, very much for that. Okay. And this is great. 2024 is starting off right. And we're gonna keep that momentum going. Okay. This is Tenoonzie. I will holler at everybody on the next one. Thank y'all so much. We're gonna be putting some reels out. Peace.